Behind England's polished pubs, royal traditions, and cobblestone streets lies a gritty underworld of crime, violence, and fear. From the East End of London to the industrial North, Britain has produced some of the most infamous gangsters in modern history. In this video, we reveal 10 real gangster stories from England, tales of ruthless crime lords, organized violence, and the criminal empires that shook the nation. 1 story: the Kray twins, legends of the East End. Ronnie and Reggie Kray are perhaps the most iconic gangsters in British history. In the 1950s and 60s, the twins ran The Firm, a powerful gang operating out of London's East End. They were nightclub owners, celebrity acquaintances, and brutal enforcers who used fear, intimidation, and murder to control their territory. Their violent downfall came in 1968, when both were arrested and eventually sentenced to life in prison.
2 story: the Richardson Gang, torture gang of South London. While the Krays ruled the East End, the Richardsons dominated South London. Led by Charlie and Eddie Richardson, they ran a rival empire based on extortion and extreme violence. Known as the Torture Gang, they were accused of pulling teeth with pliers, electrocuting victims, and holding mock trials for enemies. Their brutal reign ended with mass arrests and prison time after a violent internal betrayal. 3 story: Paul Massey, the Mr. Big of Salford. Paul Massey was a feared crime boss in Salford, near Manchester. Known as Mr. Big, he was involved in drugs, security rackets, and armed violence. Despite portraying himself as a community figure, Massey was linked to brutal gang wars and multiple shootings. In 2015, he was gunned down outside his home in a targeted hit, sparking a series of retaliatory attacks across Greater Manchester.
4 story: the Brink's-Mat robbery, Britain's most notorious heist. In 1983, 6 men broke into a security depot near Heathrow Airport, expecting to steal cash. Instead, they found £26 million worth of gold bullion. The Brink's-Mat robbery became one of the biggest heists in UK history. Much of the gold disappeared. Some was laundered through criminal networks, and several key players ended up dead. To this day, some of the fortune remains unaccounted for. 5 story: Curtis "Cocky" Warren, the narco king of Liverpool. Once listed on the Sunday Times Rich List, Curtis Warren rose from the streets of Liverpool to become one of the UK's biggest drug traffickers. Nicknamed Cocky, he built a multi-million-pound empire smuggling cocaine from South America to Europe. He evaded capture for years, before being jailed in the Netherlands and later in the UK. Even behind bars, authorities feared he still called the shots.
6 story: the Peaky Blinders, the real story.
Long before the TV series, the Peaky Blinders were a real street gang in Birmingham during the late 1800s and early 1900s. Known for their razor blade caps and sharp dress, they controlled gambling, robbery, and protection rackets. While they weren't as powerful as modern organized crime syndicates, their legacy lived on and influenced generations of British gang culture. 7 story: Sean Smith, the gangster who turned motivational speaker. In the early 2000s, Sean Smith was known as one of the most feared enforcers in Warrington. He survived assassination attempts, carried out brutal beatings, and controlled parts of the local underworld. After serving time in prison, he changed paths, now speaking about gang life, violence, and redemption. His transformation from feared gangster to mentor is one of the most unexpected in UK crime history. 8th story. The Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, the Addams Family. One of the most secretive and wealthy crime families in England, the Addams family, also known as the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, ran operations in drugs, extortion, and contract killings. Based in Islington, London, their criminal enterprise was compared to the Italian mafia. Despite multiple arrests and investigations, much of their inner structure remains untouched. 9th story. Dale Cregan, the One-Eyed Killer. Dale Cregan was a notorious Manchester-based gangster, responsible for a series of brutal murders in 2012, including the ambush killings of 2 unarmed police officers. He became infamous for using grenades in his attacks, something almost unheard of in British gang violence. His crimes shocked the nation and led to one of the most intense manhunts in UK history.
10th story. The gangs of London today. Knife crime, drill music, and street wars. Modern British gangsterism isn't limited to traditional crime families. Today, organized crime is often tied to youth gangs, drug trafficking, and postcode rivalries. In cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester, drill music has become a lightning rod for controversy, often blamed for inciting violence. Knife crime and gang warfare continue to claim lives, showing that Britain's criminal underworld is far from finished. Number 4. From old-school enforcers to modern-day gang lords, these stories reveal the dark and violent history of organized crime in England. While some gangsters gained wealth and power, most met tragic, bloody ends. Proof that crime might pay for a while, but it never lasts forever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime content from around the world.